Board games. Hello, Michelle. How I see that we've already got one person. Hello, Michelle Skevington Carter. Lovely to have you with us. And I am Bez, and we've got Chris Backe.
Hello.
Jason Hodgson.
Hello.
And Tom Cauldron.
Hello.
And what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a chat in a minute, but also we're going to be playing two games. One of them is Giftabell for the L deck, and one of them is a game that Chris is going to show called How Much Money?
That's right.
Hopefully a lot.
And
well.
give a quick explanation of how much.
Sure. So How Much Money is a party game for anywhere from like 3 to 10 players. And in this game, the question is always, how much money does it take, or how much money would it take to get you to do this stunt? And you'll write down, one person will write down their answer, they'll lock it in. Everyone else can ask questions that call for a yes or no answer before writing down their own answer. And after that, we'll reveal the answers. Whoever is closest without going over will score some points. Now, I'm adapting this game a little bit because of the video conferencing technology. Yeah. There is another round. In the full proper game, there would be a little bit of betting going on. You place some chips on which answer you think would be correct. It's a little hard to do that with the current setup. I might set this up in Tabletop Simulator at some point just to give a more full-on view, but the point, the fun part of the game is reading out a stunt, seeing how much money it would take to get someone to do it, and getting to know how much it would take for some folks.
And sounds very revealing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
It absolutely is. It's one of these games that I've play tested in probably 10 countries now. So.
Have you had a different responses between the people, the games?
Occasionally, yes. What sometimes happens is okay, so as the gameplay happens, I'll have someone who goes, "Oh, I do that for free," or "I do that stunt for $5." And at some point, you'll see someone else kind of begin to pull their wallet out and be like, "Okay, here's a $5. Let's go, chop. If you said $5, let's do this." You know. So, but it's all fantasy. It's all what if. There's never any like actual any need to do any stunts in the real world. So, yeah. And
I should introduce the small contest because there is a contest for anyone who's viewing this. Recently, I launched a Kickstarter, and by recently, I mean earlier today, around 6 hours ago. And there's, I think, 25 people who backed it last time I looked.
Nice.
And I'm giving away either a copy of Innerbind Jr., which is still in shrink wrap, as you can see. This was printed 2016, and the only reason that I've not sold them all off is because I was asked not to. And this one is on the cards, which I don't know. Have you heard of 504, which is a modular game? You get bits together, and it's loads of different games. 504 is basically like that, but for trick-taking games. So the box is open, but all the cards inside are still sealed. So I would call it brand new, even though there's some shelf wear. It's a really nice game. The only reason I'm giving it away is because it's an extra copy for me. And the way that you could win either one of these, your choice, is to go to the Kickstarter link and come back and type in how much it would cost to send some stickers, postage only, to Sweden. How much would it cost to send the stickers to Sweden? That should be fairly simple if you just look through the page. But before that I will do a quick link share to the thing.
I just want to say that the Innerbind Junior set, and I'm lucky to have both Innerbind and Innerbind Junior and Yogi, the new variation. But I actually, when we got Innerbind and Innerbind Junior, we shuffle them together. So it's got a lot more different cards. So you can like make an elephant noise every time you draw a card. I don't think that's one of them, but make a noise every time you draw a card, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, there's 8 triggered actions, 12 animal noises, 2 speech modifiers, 12 physical restrictions, 21 cards to balance, and a most amusing draw step. That's what I put on the back. And I still stand by that. I still stand by a lot of things that I wrote.
I've yet
Not
to
100%.
shuffle it. I'm yet to shuffle it with the Yogi card, only because the Yogi cards get very well loved with being stuffed in armpits and stuff.
Apparently, James has done that. But, Tom, do you want to explain how Giftable works? Or would you prefer to do it, Jason?
It's Tom's game, isn't it?
No.
It's not. It's David
Tom
Brain.
made categorical.
Oh, yeah,
It's by David Brain.
Oh, sorry, David
I'll
Brain.
take that one as well, if you want. Oh, we lost Chris.
We lost Chris. Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Did you want to give?
He'll be back.
Describe Giftable.
So,
Tom?
Giftable is about making fantastical gifts for fictional people. And
now I'm on top, Chris.
Fictional people.
Yeah,
Hey.
I mean,
Hey, wherever
one
you
by
wanna be,
one,
buddy.
we decide a fictional person, and in the comments, if you're watching, you will be able to play along. But what I like to do first of all, before we play that, is everyone going round, say one thing that you've enjoyed. Just a quick burst. And if you are watching in the comments, feel free to shout something that you're feeling good about. I'm going to say something that I saw today. We are lucky enough to have a garden. I was in our garden. I saw a squirrel sleeping. So there were 2 squirrels, the squirrel was making so much noise going up the
not
tree,
just
then
being
2 squirrels had a fight, and then one of them ran away, but then it went on top of a plank of wood in the shade, and it was almost definitely sleeping because it was completely motionless for about 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. I didn't really count. But it was something like that, so it was quite a while, and it was quite cute. What have you enjoyed recently, Jason?
I'm going to be really, really sickly sweet. I don't want anyone, if you're the first judge, Bez, to say, but I have actually enjoyed these gaming sessions.
Oh,
Most socialised I've done in months, and it's just been great to know that in the evening, after a day of a lot of reading or me starting my new variation of spiderweb conspiracy theory for my PhD, that actually I can come and just play some games and have fun.
nice. Tom?
I enjoy having a very purry, happy cat.
Oh, and you've got something from Michelle who says camping in the garden with toasted marshmallows. I mean, it is such a privilege to be having a garden right now. Would you not agree?
I mean, Michelle, have you made s'mores yet?
What's our s'mores?
S'mores are amazing. You get 2 biscuits and you put the toasted marshmallow between. Now, we kind of do it differently from our Canadian family. We get chocolate digestive biscuits, put the chocolate on the inside, and squish down the marshmallow, so it's this chocolate marshmallow biscuity goodness. It's really nice.
Sounds good.
So, I mean, I'm still a bit unclear on how s'mores are made. Explain.
Okay, so you toast the marshmallow until it's melted, or just starting to toast, depending on how you like it. You get a biscuit, preferably chocolate or whatever you want. Put the marshmallow on the biscuit. Take the stick out. That's always good. I've done that once and it hurts. and then squish the other things. You've got like a sandwich. You sandwich the marshmallow between 2 biscuits. It is messy, especially if you've got a beard, and but it's so gooey and sweet. We always have them as our pudding whenever we have barbecues, which also means Saturday we're going to have them because we have another barbecue.
Oh,
Nice.
And
That's great.
apparently, I don't know if you saw, Michelle wrote that apparently you make them like each other.
Woo!
Yeah, that's really much the common way to make s'mores.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just completely unfamiliar with this concept, but let's not get too
Alright.
sidetracked. Not a cooking show.
You've got a
Practically
garden.
practically an American initiation here. All right, you guys.
So, Chris,
we're gonna
what's your happy moment?
I am thankful for my wife's cooking skills.
Aw.
We have both gotten to be a little bit better at cooking over the last month plus. Part of that's just because we get tired of the same stuff every time, and as we've gotten better, we're less. What do you say? I guess the best way to say it, less apologetic about it. So, yeah, we've both been getting better at it. And,
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
for
be
that.
amazing at everything, can you?
I beg to differ for that. I can be awesome at a lot of different things.
Sure, a lot, but not everything. We have finite time. We can't
Yeah.
be So, for those who've just tuned in, we're about to start playing Giftable. And Tom has a cat in front of them, which is why the screen is covered. And if you want to win one of these two things, what you do is follow the link to the Kickstarter and tell me in the comments how much it would cost to get some stickers sent to Sweden. Is that the country I said, Sweden?
Yes,
Sweden, yes.
Okay. So now, Giftable. This is a game that you will also be able to play along in the comments once you get the hang of it. But first, I need to come up with the name of a person. I'm going to say this is Velma. Velma is a tourist. They go around,
Velma the tourist.
Yeah, maybe they go around in a van, maybe with a bunch of other people. And you need to... So you need to come up with a gift for Velma. One word starting with one of these letters, O or F, and one word starting one of these. For example, you could say majestic Frankfurters. That's not a great example.
I don't know if you've ever been to a Christmas market in an old town or in Belgium. There are proper majestic Frankfurters.
And to be fair, if that's all you think of, that's totally fair. But just think of anything that has one word starting with one of these letters and one word starting with one of these letters in whichever order you want. And
Majestic
when someone comes up with an idea...
Majestic Frankfurters sounds like a fun Berlin rock band name.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, presenting now the Majestic Frankfurters. When you actually have an idea, raise your hand. Or fist or whatever. And if you're in the comments, you can just type it in and potentially explain why you think that would be a brilliant gift. Okay. Are you able to think and stroke the cat, Tom?
It's very difficult. It's like rubbing your stomach and patting your head, or the other way around, whichever. Yeah.
I'm a musician. I have to multitask.
Okay.
What did you say?
Have you got an idea, Chris or Tom?
I'm working on it, yeah. Okay, I've got something. We'll go with it.
Okay, Chris, what's your idea?
Okay, so Velma the tourist needs a free mask because if she's traveling right now, she obviously needs to know how to stay safe. And free masks are wonderful. It's like free beer, but maybe not everyone drinks beer, but people should be wearing a mask and being safe these weird times and whatever. So free mask.
I mean,
Good
she
gift.
gets them every time. She gets them quite a lot. She just takes them off the person.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom, Jason, I bumped the ball. I have bumped
So,
the ball.
Jason,
Okay.
what is your idea?
Well, I'm going to make sure that Velma always has an excellent flight. So I'll be upgrading her to first class,
Oh, nice.
or making sure that she's got extra comfy pillows. Just make sure she's got that extra thing just before she goes on.
An excellent flight. I like that one. Tom, do you have any idea, or do you want to be skipped this time?
I think Velma. I think any tourist in Europe just needs to meet a friendly European. So I'm just going to get Velma a friendly European.
That makes a lot of sense. After going around and meeting lots of scary people and going, oh, jinkies, then finally they'll meet someone and... Okay, unless we have any suggestions from the people in the audience, you know what? I liked all those ideas, but I think that Velma the tourist just wants to meet a friendly European. I'm giving it to Tom.
Okay.
So, Tom, what is the name of the second person?
Billy.
Billy is a...
That's just too perfect.
I'm not getting the reference.
You said Billy. G&T, Billy Goat.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, Billy could be a goat. No, Billy is a gardener.
Gardener.
Okay.
I'm with you now. I'm all
And
yours.
so now we put two words together, one starting with R or W, one starting with A or L. And we just think of any word that would be suitable for Billy the Gardener. And Tom, could you tell us a little bit about Billy the Gardener? This is something we forgot to do last time.
Billy the Gardener is trying to push the boundaries of garden design. I mean, he's trying to get people excited about gardens with no plants, possibly not even visible as gardens. Invisible gardens is what she's going for.
Okay.
It's a very avant-garde.
You mean avant-garde?
Oh, I like it.
And when you've got an idea for a gift for Billy the Gardener, if you're on camera, you just stick your finger or your hand up. And if you're in the comments, you can just post an idea for Billy the Gardener. And once at least half of the people have an idea, Tom will call upon us.
Okay. Chris, did you put your hand up?
I did, yes. So obviously this avant-garde, making it invisible, and obviously making it invisible, and still allowing the sun to come out means you need some light refractors kind of scattered around the edge of the garden to let light in, but not let light out.
Interesting.
A garden cloaking device sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want the squirrels to find it.
Yeah. Bears?
Okay, I think that, Billy the Gardener, sometimes you want to get rid of the weeds, but sometimes you want to do it en masse. And so what you really want to get is a weed levitator. So it just kind of levitates all of them, and then you just collect them all with a big scoop, and then all the weeds are just magically out of your garden. But, it's not actually magic. It's just sufficiently advanced science that no one understands it.
Very nice.
So,
Jason?
So, though this garden's invisible, it still wants to look pretty amazing. So, for this, I'm going to hire for her a wicked architect.
Ooh.
Who's going to help with the landscaping, with the whole design of this invisible garden. Obviously, still making it. Billy obviously loves doing the work and loves getting their hands dirty. But you just sometimes need that to help with that design and helping with the actual technical aspects of making the best garden in the west. I don't know where they live.
Is that a wicked architect, as in an architect who's totally wicked and rad and fab?
Yes,
Yes.
wickedly rad. I want to fix lolling. That's a word, I think now. Architect.
Oh, and we've got one idea from the comment section, which is a rock. Sorry,
A rock lawn. That would
lawn.
be. Yeah, that's good. I
So
think a
Tom.
rock lawn sounds like an excellent low maintenance garden solution.
Is that your winning?
I think I want to give it to Mikel for a rock lawn.
Congratulations, Michelle. So, Michelle, just because of the lag, if you don't mind, I'm going to judge on your behalf, or we can have Jason judge on Michelle's behalf because Jason hasn't gone yet.
Yep,
that's fine.
So name a person.
I'm going to say that it's Jemima.
Jemima is a
horse whisperer.
Horse whisperer.
Jemima the horse whisperer.
Now everyone has to come up with something with these letters. And if you could tell us about Jemima the horse whisperer.
So ever since she was a little girl, she always realized she had a talent for talking to horses and getting them to do what she wants. She doesn't get money for it. She does it for fun. She just likes talking to the horses. It's the only kind of time she gets any sense from anyone. At the moment, she's not getting to see her horses as often because, of course, she doesn't have her own horse. So she tends to go and offer help and volunteer for other places, but she can't volunteer at the moment because of the situation. So we've got 2 out of 3.
Oh boy, I'm having a tough time using the "you" there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to go first with Tom.
Okay, I think he's gonna enjoy her horse whispering much more if she can get the horses to dress up a bit. So I'm going to get her a unicorn harness. Basically a harness which adds a horn to your horses, and you can send the
Nice.
It's better than what they used to do in the films and glue it on.
What do you mean unicorns aren't real?
They are. They're called rhinos.
So, what I was thinking was that, yes, Jemima is able to understand horses, but really Jemima wants to have the gift that the entire world has the horse understanding, but not just for Jemima, for the world, because Jemima would love to spread this gift, but I'm going to imbue everyone with it as a gift to Jemima. So that everyone can be a bit more empathetic towards the horses.
Aww. Okay, so obviously Jemima's been a horse whisperer for a long time, and she's gotten really good in her field. And obviously, the more animals you're able to work with, the more animals you're able to serve, the more value people can find with you. So I'm hoping to give her a new understanding of animal languages. Because the more she can understand, maybe she can help the horses communicate with the cows and the other animals on the farm or whatever. Just giving a new understanding of things.
So basically, eventually someone can say, "My friend the doctor says."
Well, not just that. Right now she's bilingual. We need to make her like trilingual or quadrilingual. She's learned horse.
Dr. Jeremiah Doolittle.
Hey. Dr. Doolittle had a lot of interesting stories to tell. I'm sure Jemima here could come up with quite a few herself.
Okay. There's a theme with 2 of them. I do like the idea of the unicorn harness. I do like the idea of the being able to understand more more animal languages. But I do think that Jemima, like some Jemima even has it's like something very special to her. It's not that she doesn't want to share it. It's more to do with the fact that it gives her a purpose. Whereas if everyone had the understanding, she wouldn't have that purpose anymore.
I can see
I mean,
then.
she was volunteering as a kid. On the other hand, having multiple languages means, oh my word, how loud would the world be? She's walking down the street and random squirrel just.
Okay, so I think that Michelle, because it was actually Michelle's turn.
And Michelle has the same idea as me, the unicorn harness.
The unicorn harness. So it goes to Tom again.
Yay.
Nicely done.
So now it's actually Tom's turn. So
Michelle and I clearly have an understanding.
So that was. So Tom, what's the name of our person?
Ebenezer.
Ebenezer the.
Ebenezer.
We're getting some very old school names here.
Yeah. Ebenezer the gastronome.
Gastronome.
Yeah.
And Michelle, because you were judged last time, now you are playing again, and anyone in the comments can play. And it's got to be one of these letters, O or H, and one of these letters, N or F, in any order. A good present for Ebenezer the gastronome, and Tom will tell us a little bit about them.
What a gastronome is.
Has always loved fine dining. He's eating out 5 nights a week. The other 2 nights he just eats toast, just to recover. He has a food blog, which he's trying to monetize.
So I've got an idea. I mean, it doesn't sound like Ebenezer is a very successful gastronome. When you first said Ebenezer the gastronome, I was imagining like a high-ranking food critic. But it's just a blog that they're trying to monetize. So you've not really,
he manages to get the occasional free meal.
Yeah, so it's not really their profession, is it? If it's just
they're independently wealthy. Okay, Bears, what have you got?
Okay, I've got legitimate heaven food. So this is not just heavenly food, this is actual heaven food. It is the literal food that you get when you go to heaven. Now, this might blow Ebenezer's mind, and it might mean that forever in the future, they will never enjoy food again as much, but for that brief moment, they will actually have tasted the food of heaven, and they might even be more inspired to go there. I don't know, assuming it exists.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Jason?
Not to push down your idea, Bez, but once you've tasted the food of heaven, all food would pale to that experience. And I feel that that would put Ebenezer off proper food for a very, very long time, if not indefinitely. I appreciate that the experience would be amazing and it would, but it's like once you've been on that one, the best roller coaster in the world, until you've got to find the next best thing. And if heaven's the top, you can't find anything better than that. So instead of heavenly food, I would give the experience of historic food to Ebenezer. Not only will it give him the experience that others have had before him that people don't currently not really having now, it would also give an interesting spin onto his blog, hopefully exciting new fans to come along, not just for those who are interested in food, but those who are interested in history as well.
Nice.
Right. I'm not sure that I can compete with that. So our man Ebenezer is apparently kind of a picky sort of eater, and this has been something he's been struggling with for a very long time. and he actually likes his food at a specific temperature, but also his silverware at a specific temperature. So what I'm going to give him is a fork heater that will warm his fork up, and this is the tine part, not the handle part. It's going to warm the part that he actually puts in his mouth. It's going to warm that up to be the same temperature as the food. So that instead of having this temperature difference, you don't want the fork cooling down the food. Okay, so it's just a little device. You just dip the tines in, it heats it up, and then you put it in your food, and then both are the same perfect temperature. So a fork heater.
People who really know food just can tell that difference. Yeah,
exactly.
What about cold food? Cold foods are supposed to be cold, like a salad.
Well, it's all you don't
Would
use
it
it.
match it? Would it match it?
Well, that's the salad fork. We're talking about the main fork for the main entree.
Oh, food heater versus the salad. Yeah.
So, Tom, I think you need to choose.
Well, that's an interesting choice. Now, Bez, I think the heaven food would be amazing.
Got one last minute thing: outstanding networking to promote the food blog to monetize it.
Yes.
All right.
So we've got 4 options.
That's very practical. Bez, I think yours would be the most amazing in the short term, but I think it may have serious repercussions for the rest of his life, Ebenezer's life. I think, yeah, that would cause.
Sorry, don't mess with an academic here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been better off going for hell foods rather than heaven food. Hindsight is 2020.
Chocolate digestive biscuits dipped in ketchup, mayonnaise, and barbecue with a side of flaming Cheetos on top. Yeah.
Sounds like hell. Yes. I think yours is a really nice idea. Except I do know someone who actually arranged with a catering company for an event to do actual genuine Tudor food from Tudor recipe book because it was promoting, I don't know, an exhibition on Tudor art or something. And it turned out to be absolutely horrible. So they had all this buffet of Tudor food. So I think a true connoisseur, a gastronome, would jump at the chance to have a heated fork.
Yes. All right.
Exactly the sort of useless gadget that
especially one with an amateur blog.
So the outstanding networking doesn't quite get in there either.
Yeah.
And hello, Kyle, who's watching, and we're going with Chris to invent a fictional character.
I was gonna say Chris, but since it's gonna be fiction, it's going to be Christina.
Okay, Christina is
a nutritionist.
Ooh,
Christina's a nutritionist.
We've got to use one word starting with S or G, one word starting with I or L, and then you can explain it when the time comes.
Okay, so Christina, the nutritionist, is 31 years old, though she sometimes acts like she's younger. She works full-time at a gym, and her interest is in seeing people eat well, but maybe a little bit too well. You see, she actually wants people to gain weight instead of lose weight. It's kind of a Fahrenheit 451 thing, so she wants you to eat well, maybe a little bit too much food, but making you feel like you're eating healthy. Because no one wants to feel like they're going to the nutritionist and they're saying, "Oh no, you got to go on this diet. You're going to be hungry for the rest of your life." We're not going to have that here. So, Christina, the nutritionist.
Okay, I've got an idea. Jason's got an idea, and if you've got an idea and you're watching, just type it in. Chris, call on us.
All right. Well, we'll just go around the horn here. Bez, start us off.
Okay, so I think that every nutritionist's all about the health. They want to increase their health. And, ultimately, why are they looking for nutrition? It's a means to an end. What they want, ultimately, is incredible stamina.
Okay.
That is what Christina wants, incredible stamina.
Exactly. Helps you run a marathon, helps you work longer, be more creative. All right. Very good. Jason.
Well, my gift would be a meeting of people, a meeting of minds. So I would introduce Christina to an interesting gastronome who is who is now slightly obsessed with a heated fork. So they can explore not just about eating healthily and eating well, but also eating for enjoyment and healthily. Because you don't have to couscous doesn't have to be bland.
Mm-hmm.
Very
For
true.
those playing the amateur comedy night bingo card, you can cross off pandering to the judge and a callback from that one presentation. So, well done, Jason.
I'm autistic. I don't pander.
Tom.
I play to win.
Okay. I think
I believe.
a nutritionist would be very interested in my wonderful invention, which brings all the benefits of a wonderful meaty fry-up with all the benefits of fresh, healthy green vegetables. I'm going to give her a lettuce sausage.
A lettuce sausage.
Lettuce
Oh my goodness.
sausage.
That sounds amazing.
Okay, so what is
It
a
sounds
lettuce?
good.
Increasing.
And
What
we've
does
got-
a lettuce sausage taste like?
Pretty much like lettuce, to be honest.
Okay,
You know,
all right.
brown.
Just
Sort
And
falls
of
into
course,
a
we've got
tune.
Michelle.
what's the
Okay.
intestine part made of?
Intestines.
It's basically, surely a lettuce sausage would be shredded lettuce inside a wrapping of lettuce.
The sausage.
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically lettuce.
But like it's kind of
Really?
boiled lettuce so that it can be. I think this could actually be really good. I mean, I want to make this kind of gently saute, like gently steam or saute a lettuce, until it's a bit flexible, and then shred some lettuce inside, so it's got some crunch. Then put the shredded lettuce inside the sautéed lettuce. It wouldn't have much flavour to it, but maybe if you put in some spices, I don't know.
Some seasoning, yeah.
And moving past that, we've got Michelle's increasing girth because Christina apparently wants to help people gain weight.
Well, as much as I would love to introduce Christina to our food blogger, I have to say this notion of the lettuce sausage is going to have to win, because what's going to happen is they're going to he's going to give this news like a superfood to them, right? And when it's lettuce, and it's lettuce, it doesn't have any calories, but what actually happens, of course, is that because it has the sausage sort of form, people want to eat more of that. And apparently the sausage part of the lettuce still has lots of calories, so she still reaches her secret goal of helping them gain weight. So
Next on Dr. Oz.
Well, it's Tom to go again, who has wandered around with the incredible lettuce sausage, to give us a name of the next person.
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
All right.
The
drummer.
Mysterio is a
Mysterio
drummer.
the drummer.
And we have to come up with gifts. One word starting with S or B. One word starting with E or P. Tom, tell us a little bit about Mysterio the drummer.
Well, Mysterio, you'd be surprised it's not their real name. They were...
No.
Why not?
They have been in this prog rock band since 1984. They're still thinking that big success is just around the corner. Any day now, they're going to be discovered. But they're making a living. They're playing around the pubs and clubs. They've got a small following, about 2 people. Okay. Let's go for Bez.
Okay, what they really want, yes, you've got the big bass drum, you kind of kick it, and then it makes a noise, and that's all well and good, but they want something with even more oomph. They want the most powerful bass.
Oh.
And with this, they will be able to truly rise to fame.
Oh, yes.
So a bass where so sub bass basically, so where you can only really feel it.
Yeah, so you. It's a kick drum, and then it just vibrates through the entire building.
I've been in the presence of a sub bass, and it was amazing. This organ, electronics, surround sound speakers. It was just euphoric. Sub bass behind you, rippling. Oh, talk about hallucinogenics.
There was an ABBA tribute band the other day that was really loud. You could hear the drums from Nando's. I'm sorry. Carry on. Chris.
Right. So one of the issues these guys have had with their performances, of course, has been their sound system just hasn't really worked very well. Either it hasn't connected with the clubs, or they just haven't figured out how to turn the volume up. So they're going to have an extreme snare that he just has to kind of just like tap the thing, and you get that whole, think of the sound a snare drum makes, and then multiply that by 100, because the extreme snare is just, it's a very loud version of the snare drum. So the extreme snare. Exactly.
Okay. Jason, did you have one?
Yep. As a musician, your ideas make me squirm. There's no variety in the sounds. It's
Drummers just wanting loud, right?
I'm a percussionist too. We don't just want loud. But what then they haven't got? It's not about finding a publisher. It's not about finding a manager or a company that wants. They need to make sure their music is recorded and sounds good. Like, it's all well and good having a live event, but if people don't know you, they won't come to the live event. So what they really need is a super producer, someone who can make that sound, that echo, that extra mile. The tiniest of sound has impact, and you don't even have to hear it.
Producer.
And we've got one again from Michelle. Extendable sticks. As Mysterio wants to make beautiful music from a distance and remain socially isolated, whilst, of course, interacting with the band.
I'll give you a tip.
Nice.
If you're a drummer, you can still be far away from the band with your drums and still be heard.
That's nice about those extendable sticks, though. You just extend the long way. Your drums are 2 meters over that way. You can kind of, send them up like that.
You can have a giant set and not move.
Oh, you know what? So it would also let you do is if you're kind of have more drums, like maybe if you had a little flick, so you could have your normal drum kit, but then you could also be playing a second drum kit over there at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It will certainly make...
that'd be really cool.
It will certainly make my friend's one-man percussion operas a little bit easier to play.
And so,
percussion
Tom,
opera.
Yes.
Yeah, a one-man percussion opera.
I do like the sound of extendable sticks. I think they'd be very handy. But I think I'm going to give it to Jason, super producer.
Oh, so Jason sneaks in.
Yes.
And that's... we were just playing with a half deck with 24 cards, and so that's the end of Giftabell. So in first place, we have Tom with 3 points.
Hey.
And then we had Jason and Chris and Michelle with 1 point. And I played. So for those who weren't here at the start, because I see there's a few people who are coming in, we are giving away 2 games tonight. It's going to be a thing potentially every Thursday. In a Bind Junior is a version it's a junior version of the best party game of Physical Constraints, which is now known as Yogi. If you've heard of Yogi, if you've heard of In a Bind, and you like them, then you probably want this. This is on the cards, which is like trick taking taken to the extreme, and it's similar to 504, but it came before it. Basically, it modularizes all the rules of the different trick taking games out there. So as you play, you basically mix together different cards to come up with completely different trick taking games. And if you like trick taking games, it is really amazing. And so if you're interested in winning a prize, what you need to do is go to the Kitty Cataclysm sticker Kickstarter, which currently has 26 backers. So yay! I just launched it today. And I'm not one of these people who has like thousands of backers within day one or even hundreds, but quite happy with 26 for given it's been 6 hours and a bit. And go there and tell us how much money it would cost to post some stickers to Sweden. Just type the answer, and if you type the answer, then I will also maybe tell me which one you would prefer to win if you do manage to win, and then I'll get in touch with you if you win, and yeah, we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. So before we move on, I want to say that, yeah, been good, and we are going to play something by Chris.
That's right, folks. So this game is called How Much Money? So, as you look like you're shooting me with this, oh boy. All right, so this game is called How Much Money? This is a party game, and what we're going to do here, in order to adapt this to video conferencing, I want everyone to grab some pen and paper, and you're going to use this to write down some numbers and a guess. So basically 2 things for each round, okay? And in the interest of time and to ensure we have some fun with this, we'll play until we get 5 points, okay?
Sounds good.
You'll score. So, as I mentioned earlier, the notion of this game is, the question is always, how much money would it take to get you to do this stunt that I'll name here? One person will be the daredevil. Theirs is the answer you want to try to match. So if it's okay for the first round, I'll be the daredevil, and I'll read the stunt out loud. And what you're looking to do is guess how much money it would take to get me, the daredevil, to do that stunt. Not how much you would do it for, but how much you think the daredevil would do it for. Okay?
Yeah.
So you guys are all familiar with, I would assume, British pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so just as one of the things we do at the start, we always try to figure out which currency.
Are we
is
just
the best.
using one single currency? I mean, 3 out of 4 of us live in the UK.
I mean,
And so-
we could just use as today's the day that the Kickstarter was. We could just say Meowny.
Oh,
Might break down a
no.
bit
Gonna
there.
need an extendable stick, but so we're
yeah.
playing British pounds. We're playing British pounds. So, before you write down your answer, you may ask questions that call for a yes or no answer to the daredevil. So, for example, if my stunt was swim across an Olympic-sized pool full of sharks, I'll have written down my answer, and you may ask yes or no questions to help you kind of get a sense of how willing I might be to do that. So you might ask, are you a fast swimmer? Or do you like sharks? Did you watch Jaws as a kid? Whatever questions come up.
First,
We'll do that.
I want
we'll
to
do that for a
interrupt
minute or
this
so.
because we've got a new challenger. We've got
okay.
Andrew Dennison.
I wouldn't go that
All right.
far. I have no clue what's going on. Actually, I just barely do. I sort of read the rules earlier.
Okay, no worries. So basically, I'll just recap here for Andrew here. So one person is a daredevil. How much money? Yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to be reading a stunt, and the question is always, how much money would it take to get that daredevil to do that stunt? Jason, what are you doing with that paper?
I'm getting it into moving it into bits so I can write down
We're
numbers.
licking it all the time.
It makes it easier to tear.
Okay.
Does no one
Have
else do
we
that?
established a unit of currency to be used here? You know,
Great British
we're talking
pounds.
US. Yeah, we're using the British pound. Good, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, come on. 80% of us are living in the UK.
Yeah,
And I
just
don't know
check,
where
you know.
Michelle's based. I think it's Michelle based. I don't know. Maybe
Hey,
they
there's
can
no
tell
point
us.
groaning, Michelle, at that's already been published. That is in Bez's rules for Kitty Cataclysm. If you'd like to find out about that, you just back the Kickstarter as well as purchasing a copy of Kitty Cataclysm.
Many cat puns.
It is a very fun game,
Exactly.
actually.
Okay,
Anyway,
so you will score. So you want to have the closest answer to Daredevil without going over. Very similar to Price is Right and other game shows.
Okay,
So
don't
you
go
will
over,
score
okay.
1 point. I'm sorry. And again, I'm adapting this because of video conferencing. You'll score 2 points if you have the closest answer without going over. You will score 1 point if you vote for the closest answer. Okay?
Okay.
And
And we
we'll
get to
play
vote for one person each time, or?
You'll vote for one person each time, and you'll just write that down on your paper. Right. So I'll be the first Daredevil, and I'll read the card.
What's your stunt?
My stunt. Okay.
So many possibilities.
Oh, God.
If we're going to be doing cat puns the whole time, okay.
It
so my
goes up a
stunt
grand
here
every
is going
time
to
Bez
be-
does a cat pun.
Stunt
Just
number
ignore
1
me.
will be paint your entire body pink. Paint your entire body pink.
Okay. Out of curiosity,
question is,
on
how
these
much
cards,
money
were
would
there
it take?
multiple things that you normally choose
so,
one
so
of?
what I have right now, basically each card has 3 possible stunts, and I'll call you to do. I'll call you to say top, middle, or bottom. They're all randomized. No one is better than the other. So we'll just go with
You'll
that one.
really
So paint
find out
your
information
entire
about that
body
one.
pink.
So, I just want to say, would there be a small gap left so that you would actually be able to breathe? Because I think I saw Goldfinger where if you paint someone entirely, without leaving a whole gap for the skin to breathe, they actually die.
That was actually disproven on Mythbusters. But yes, I'm going to paint my entire body pink. So
Okay.
I have written down an amount of money that I would do this for.
Oh, we're
in
not
British
asking
pounds.
questions yet.
Is it assumed
may,
that
you
get
may.
the paint for? Is it assumed you're getting the paint for free?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to buy you the paint as well.
You're not allergic to anything, are you?
I shouldn't say that.
For example, pink paint.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Is pink your favourite colour?
No.
Is pink your least favorite color?
No.
Does the challenge require you to go anywhere?
That's a good question. Let's say I would have to remain painted for the rest of the day.
Okay, but you just kind of carry on in your house, just painted pink.
I'd be carrying on doing whatever I'd be doing, just painted, as you do.
Do you think the paint would rub off on things and damage your chair or whatever?
Maybe, but I would probably just put paper towel, whatever I might come in contact with.
All that plastic covering of all the.
Exactly. Hey, like just
sit
chair
down and
condoms or- Exactly. So write down your guess, and once you've done that, we'll show it. So once everyone's ready, we'll have everyone show
I'm gonna need a
their
tutor.
guess. The Daredevil will keep their answer secret, and everyone else will show their answers. And basically, you may vote for yourself, and you may vote for someone else.
So first, everyone's got to reveal what they think, how much they think Chris would do this for. And if you are following along in the comments, you can write a number of how much you think how much money Chris would want before they would be willing to do this. Mm-hmm. And I've written down my answer.
Okay, so there are 2 other options here that I should mention. You may write nothing, meaning I would do this thing for free, or no amount of money, meaning it could be a trillion, quadrillion, quid, whatever. No amount of money. I would never do this thing. Okay?
James has got a question for you as well. Do you want to answer this one as well?
So is the paint being applied to your body by someone you find attractive?
It does say paint yourself, does it not?
I would assume I'd have to paint myself.
I think it says so on the
In
card. I think we have to rule the card as written.
Yeah, paint. Yeah, well, paint. Yeah, the card says paint your entire body pink.
Paint your entire.
Not have
Okay.
your entire body painted.
Have your body.
Which would be a different.
So,
So
my
Matt,
answer,
Show them right now.
100.
100. Okay.
100 Great British pounds, about the price of 10 dinners
Oh, okay, this is
Wait,
no, it's not going to work
in
again.
London.
oh yeah, fair enough.
If you're eating out.
Still, where are you
Okay,
eating it? You can have
Everyone,
10
show
minutes
your
for
answer.
10
Everyone, show your answer.
I'm struggling because it won't pick mine up. I've said 75 quid.
£1,000.
1,000. 1,000.
1,000?
Okay.
I think you're pretty cheap.
And Andrew.
It's a lot of
75.
50.
50.
and a
Very
lot
good.
of mess.
And James
Okay.
reckons you just do it for the hell of it.
which is a valid
All
answer.
right. Okay, that's actually correct. So, everyone having seen the other
Well,
answer,
Michelle said 77.
Ooh.
77 pounds.
There's
Okay,
always
very good.
one.
Hey, I was
So-
78.
Exactly.
So, how do
now,
we do the voting? Do we write down the name of
now
the person?
I want you to write down one person, the person you think is the closest to my answer,
I'm gonna need a
without
bigger
going
pen.
over. So write down the person you think is closest without going over. It can be you.
I've already pre-written cut things from yesterday, so still got them.
Oh yeah, I've got that to the side. But,
So
yeah, I also.
Possibly
I'm just going.
can we remind ourselves of our answers?
Hang on, I'm trying to make mine actually work.
Okay.
Actually,
So we have 50 from Tom, 1,000 from Jason, 75
Oh,
from
yeah.
Andrew, 77 from Michelle, 3 from James, and 100 from Bez. So again, write down the person you think who has the closest answer without going over. If you have the closest answer, you're going to score 2 points.
Mhm.
And if you vote for the closest answer, you will score 1 point.
Got you.
so
Okay, so write down your answers here.
I've got it.
And, okay, everyone ready?
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, so my answer, drum roll please, is...
well, shouldn't we say who we think before you reveal?
You wrote it down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can. I mean, it feels more exciting to. But
Oh, okay.
sorry, you're the game master.
I mean, we just told it
Yeah.
up.
I
Yeah,
haven't
so
seen it.
We get to do
Uh,
we get to do more if we keep a good pace, don't we? So
I'm going to say 5,000
$5,000.
pounds. Look, man, if I'm going to
5,000.
paint myself pink, I want to get paid for it, okay?
I would have done it for 50.
So,
So Jason,
Now,
Jason is
so-
alarmingly the closest.
Jason,
Wow.
Jason is going to score 2 points. Did anyone vote for Jason?
No. I voted for
No.
Michelle.
No. Wow.
There are,
I
whole,
voted
thea-
for
there are
Bez.
whole theatrical and other related industries that are just massively outbidding
Okay.
each other.
I do buy that. Okay, so then we're going to end that round. We'll start a new round here. We'll make Andrew our daredevil here. And Andrew, I want you to say top, middle, or bottom, because each card has 3 stunts on it.
It's a
I
bit
don't know,
revealing,
randomise
isn't it?
which way up there. I'm just going to go with the middle because middle is
Middle one.
Yeah, it'll probably
Okay.
be the silly one though.
Middle one,
Here we go.
middle one here is only speak by yelling at the top of your voice for the rest of the day.
I want to say something, but I can't because you're both.
Yeah,
Not
you see,
British.
just about everybody who knows me would argue that I do that anyway.
you don't
Well, I-
literally yell at the top of your voice.
I don't.
No, literally. Only speak by yelling at the top of your voice for the rest of the day.
No, I mean Andrew
So-
doesn't currently literally do it right now.
True.
I would hope not, but if you do, this should be pretty easy for you.
Yeah. Okay. So you can ask questions.
So
Yes.
so we can ask questions that call for a yes or a no answer. Andrew, do you get sore throats often?
No.
Andrew,
Apart from recently, but that's irrelevant.
Do you have good projection without shouting already?
Yes.
Are you good?
Andrew, do you and your partner enjoy Silence.
Sometimes.
No, I don't know you. Do you and your partner have kids?
No.
That's a valid
Do you have a
question.
job that requires you to speak a lot?
Do I have a job that requires me to speak a lot? Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any pets who are sensitive to noise?
Yes.
Okay. So once again, Andrew, you may write nothing. In other words, I would do this for free, and or no amount of money, meaning I would never, ever, ever do this thing, not for any amount of money in the world. You may write those answers or some amount of money, and we are playing in British pounds. So write your answers down. And Andrew, keep your secret until the very end. And everyone else, when you're ready, just go ahead and show your answers here.
Michelle has a question. Do you have
Yes,
understanding
Michelle.
neighbors?
Do I have understanding neighbours? I honestly don't know.
Oh. Okay.
You haven't connected to your neighbours in this isolation?
Well, not by shouting at them through a wall, no.
Okay. So now we reveal our numbers, and if you are in the chat, please write it now. I've got 500.
Okay.
I have
I've got
750.
250.
I've
Yeah.
got 950.
Okay, we got
Chris has
950 up there.
Okay.
250.
And now you'll get to vote on who you think is
And
closest to
Michelle
right.
has 2,730, and
Okay.
James has 50,000.
All right.
I mean, so far I'm
Excellent.
thinking
So-
there's definitely some people I need to tap up to do some good dares, because these ones aren't even
Exactly.
difficult, you know.
Exactly.
We're not yet at running around naked doing anything, so, you know. Maybe
Not
people
yet.
would pay me less for that, I don't know.
Okay. So write
don't be so down on
your
that.
vote. Write your vote on the paper.
Got it.
Who do you think is closest without going over?
Sorry, Jason,
Closest-
Tom, Chris, can you hold yours up again? Let me... 250, 950, okay.
Oh, good for a 50.
And Des, what did you have?
I had 500.
500. Okay. And again, you can vote for yourself. I will vote for this person. Okay.
I have made
And when
my
you've written it
decision.
down, hold it up.
And
Tom, you ready?
James, you need
Yep.
to...
Okay,
Right,
hold yours a
Tom.
little higher. Tom? Can't quite see yours.
There we
Here we
go.
go. Okay, show it off. And
Tom.
Andrew, show us who
So-
you got.
Chris is closest,
All
because-
right.
Oh,
it being
Your answer.
9:15 in the evening. And given that I don't expect to deal with a great many more people today anyway, I would have done this task for 50 quid.
Wow. Okay.
But,
Well,
wait,
so-
no, Chris isn't the closest then.
And the closest, but everyone was over.
Correct.
Everyone
Everybody
was
was significantly
Outplaying
over.
So that means that no one gets
No.
any.
So no one scores any points that round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
worst that was going to
All right, very
happen was I was going to yell at you lot for the rest of the evening, and Bez might have cut me off pretty quickly. So, yeah, that was a cheap one.
Okay, so
Very
going
good, Andrew.
clockwise, I guess it's me now. I'll go with top.
Bez? Top. Okay. Bez, yours is only talk with a French accent for a week.
Did Bez already pick top?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I missed that. I might.
So Bez,
Okay.
only talk with a French accent for a week. Bez, do you have a good French accent?
Je ne sais pas. Je pense que non. Mon accent français, ce n'est pas très bien.
So I'm going to
His
say
French
no.
accent.
language.
His French accent isn't very good.
Sure.
Her French accent is very. Oh, tense.
Thank you.
All right. Other questions for Bez?
What was it the rest of the week? What was the word?
For a week. Only talk with a French accent for a week.
Ooh.
A week, not starting for the rest of the week. This is a whole week.
For a week, like a week from now.
And James has reminded of us of.
Do you need to engage in any contractual negotiations or other serious matters that you might cause grave offence if you were to negotiate them in a silly French accent in the next week?
Like memoing Yogi.
This is Making games is my job. Playtesting is about as serious as it gets. I might have to talk to a publisher.
Is the publisher French?
No.
And easily offended.
I was planning to talk to a London-based publisher, potentially about a game about discrimination that Tiz and I made. Shout out. Not saying anything more.
All right. So write down your answers, everyone, and Bez, keep your answers secret till the end.
Michelle's gone with £1,624.
Okay, very good.
How do you come up with those numbers, Michelle? You just...
Now, one thing to consider here. One thing to consider here is that it's the closest without going over. Right? We were all over that last time. So if you think she might go low, she's up this way. If you think she might go low, then adjust your answers to match. So we have one from James as well.
James says 2,000.
Okay.
Oh, and
should have
Michelle,
a yes or no answer. Yes. Questions should have a yes or no answer. In cases like this, this is one of those games that doesn't really require a strong, stringent attachment to the rules. So
like Dungeons and Dragons.
Try to keep
What's the
questions
hate come
yes
in?
or no.
Roll the dice, get on with it.
Okay. So
any other questions?
No.
I think we've covered.
Oh yeah, we've already gone the answers. So we've already had answers. 2,000. Chris says I'd do it for free. James said the same.
Free?
Tom said 150. Andrew said 700.
Okay.
I reckon.
So again, you may vote for yourself.
James, j'ai parlé le français. Fermez la bouche.
In no way should participation in this game be considered a contractual offer. Insert legal disclaimer here.
I mean,
we've
it
got
could
one
be.
last one.
Okay,
from
we have one from
Namron.
Namron there. Okay. Tom, what was your answer?
Mine was
15 or 150.
150.
All right, very good.
So now write the name of the
And
person that you
we're
think
gonna write
was
down-
closest. So
What was it,
Jason
Andrew?
was free. Andrew was.
£700.
Chris was free, and Tom was 150, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
And who do you
everyone's
think
ready.
is the closest without going over? Okay, in the comments you need to write your answer, but everyone on the video, because I'm aware that there's a bit of lag between comments and us seeing them, let's see them.
Okay. I've got
I
Tom.
really need to get the hang of the thing with being mirrored.
Yeah.
I reckon.
It is reverse, Andrew.
I actually reckon it's going to be a better
Tom.
brand.
What, Tom? Are you okay? Because
Your handset. Okay, very good. So.
Okay, so
Yes.
and
What's the truth?
Chris and Jason were correct because I would in fact do it for £25.
Yay.
All right, very good.
You know, I
So
said
what
this
happened
wasn't-
at
you,
the time?
you know, I said that wasn't a contractual offer, but for £25, I reckon we could probably make you do that for.
Yeah.
Absolutely good. Very good.
I reckon between
So,
the screen here, we
Jason?
can get £25 raised pretty
So
quickly.
that means that
So Jason and myself both scored 2 points for tying for the closest answer.
Can you make
So
that next
Jason, you need
picture?
one more point to win. We can certainly continue playing. But
what happens if I voted for the person who got free?
then yeah, that's right. So you should have
You get
should
a bonus
extra
point.
for that. You get,
All right,
so you're on 5 now.
So I could have voted for myself or you, Chris, and would have been able
Yep.
to get.
Well, I wrote
You
Jason's
absolutely
vote.
could have. All right, very good. So
I
Jason,
think
you're up.
it's for Jason and Chris.
and
Anyway,
So,
Shall we-
I've lost the name. And it's yours.
Finish the
It's fallen
round.
on the floor.
yeah, we'll finish
don't
around.
worry about it,
Jason.
Jason.
Tom is
Give us
free.
top, middle, or bottom.
Bottom.
Bottom, you got it. Okay, Jason, your stunt is to dress as the Easter Bunny for a full day. You wake up in the morning, you put on the suit, you go about your day, you take it off when you go to bed.
I like
these-
it.
Real
Oh,
quiet
wait.
all of a sudden.
Of all three things on the card mild, I may have missed this. Do we do a round of mild ones and then
yes,
a round
they
of
all are. So I'm just
We're
pulling
just
cards
playing
off
with
the deck.
mild for this game because we're trying
are
to
we?
keep it
Yeah.
PG rated. I
okay.
assume that the ones that aren't smiled are sexual or violent in nature.
The wild deck is for adults only. And
Okay.
it would
deck.
Yeah, we're not adults here.
it would be considered
Legally, yes.
NSFW
I can be very adult in some ways.
in some
Okay.
ways. So, dressed as the Easter Bunny. Jason, have you ever worked as an Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, or another person wearing a suit?
A suit?
Like a
No.
costumed sort of.
Well,
I was about to say,
no.
yeah.
Not a
Costume,
business suit. But,
costume, yes.
Jason,
Okay.
do you actually own a rabbit suit?
No, I don't.
Jason, are you assuming you would be given this rabbit suit for free, right?
Yes, I am.
yeah, let's do it.
I'm broke.
Jason, are you now or have you ever been a furry?
No. But I like your questioning.
Okay, question from
Normally about
Michelle.
this
Do
time
you
of
have
year-
to leave
It's
the
normally
house
this
to
time of
work?
year I have to do confuzzled, so.
So it's like,
Okay. So, Jason, from Michelle, do you have to leave the house to work?
not often. So no.
Okay. And one from James, do you like cosplay?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Jason has regaled us with stories of the doctors and whatnot.
Okay. So write down your answers. If you have no more questions, feel free to ask one or two more.
I should probably write down an answer, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, how much would...
The question is, I would, but how much would I want to do it?
Yeah. How much would we need to pay you to make that happen?
Yeah, I think I've got an idea.
Okay.
Have you got
Tom?
Hang on a second.
So we've got the answers coming in.
Yes.
Jason says 99.
James?
I'm
says-
saying
James says
40.
99.
Given that
Saying
Jason's a bit broke.
125?
Yeah, I also went with 99 as it happens. If
Oh,
anyone
it's
wants to see it.
250.
Ooh.
I need-
All ties
Pound
are
50.
friendly, by the way.
Why
Is
does
that what I
Streamlab
want?
not have a reverse option? It needs a reverse option.
250?
And Namron went
That's
with
good
£1.
strategy,
And Michelle went with £6.
I see
Wow.
what I'm worth. I see what it's.
Oh, wow. Hey, Bez, I can't quite
I'm feeling
read your-
good if
Mine is
we went
40.
high here.
40. Okay, very good.
I mean,
All right.
short of dressing up to save my fashion magazine business, please tell me if someone gets that reference, viewers. With my assistant's boyfriend's father. Oh, it's an Ugly Betty reference. I'll just say. Short of that, so should I? I'll move on to Chris.
Yeah.
So go ahead, write down your votes.
So everyone, including the people in the comments, write down who you think was the closest.
Closest, exactly. So closest without going over. And you may also, of course, vote for anyone that's voted in the chat.
You forfeit your answer, James, with that part.
Oh, very good. Okay. So when you're ready, we'll show off.
Okay,
There
this
you
is
go.
my
You're
3,
ready.
2, 1.
What was
So
Michelle?
Bez, Michelle, Andrew, who did you vote for?
Me.
All right, we've got Bez from Michelle and
I probably
Tom
should have voted for
from
you, actually. I reckon it's slightly high. I forgot you were higher than me, Chris.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell sometimes, right? All right, Jason, show us.
Right. So Damron was closest.
Oh,
But we were all wrong. We were all over.
Oh,
I sense
Never
this may be the
mind.
only problem with the mild deck, is there might be a surprising number of things in there people are just willing to
Well,
do.
that's the
There
thing.
we
We
go.
didn't.
Not only am I a cosplayer, I've also gone to college in a line onesie. So
uh-huh.
And I paid a few pounds for charity to do that. I didn't.
So Namron, we were
negative.
laughing at £1, but you should have gone lower.
The truth of the matter is, it's really going to be based on who you're playing with, and this is a wonderful opportunity to learn
I was about to
about.
say, if you don't know people well, this is going to.
Exactly. So we'll call this the last round. We're going to make Tom our last daredevil. And Tom, would you give us top, middle, or bottom?
I'll go top.
Top. Okay.
Did I
And I
mispreview
see that James is quite keen to see the WoW deck, which might not be the best one for this live stream, but I'm sure that if you ask, Chris will be able to put. Chris, would you be happy for me to share the link to your print and play?
Absolutely. So the site is entrogames.com.
I'll post
ahead,
it
please.
in both things. So
Of
if you
course,
just
very,
carry-
very good.
I think we need Bez
Okay.
After Dark. That's what we need. Just
Oh.
have a cut.
Oh.
I like the sound
You know
of
how
that.
the BBC,
Okay.
you know how UK TV has Watershed at 10? Was it 11?
Okay, guys, here we go. So allow someone to throw a bowl of hot chicken noodle soup on you, like fresh, just placed on the table. So, James, the game is called How Much Money?
Is the hot
Is it
soup
hot? Yes. Is the hot soup hot?
Well, hot could also mean spicy.
True.
Hot as in temperature hot.
True,
Hot as in
technically
temperature
true.
hot.
But
And
that's kind of
hot,
correct.
like hot as if it just was served to you at the table at a restaurant.
So not like gazpacho.
So, in
So,
other words, pretty cold by my experience. of restaurant soup. I have never yet
Nice.
been served a decent.
Okay, so Tom, when you go out to restaurants, are you normally wearing like really nice clothes?
I don't dress up a lot. I just sort of go, not too scummy is my level.
Not too scummy is a good fashion statement. I like it.
Yes.
We've got James
Okay.
asking, is it Star... Oh no,
No, it's-
James
it's
just says it is.
I think
Yeah,
James
it's
is
very
endorsing the
dark.
Bez After Dark idea.
We'll return with Bez After Dark. So,
Yes.
good question from Michelle there. Do you like chicken noodle soup?
Yes, I like chicken noodle soup.
All right.
Do you like hot baths?
I do. I've never combined the two.
After going out, would you normally need to go somewhere else?
The question doesn't specify he's out at all. We've
No.
detoured on this one.
Now,
I mean, you could wash it off straight away.
I'm going to
Yeah,
ask
you
the same
could.
question I asked Andrew, Tom.
Yeah?
Do you have kids?
No.
Has this already happened anyway?
Yeah, that's basically it. Do you have kids? In which case, it happens.
And James is asking, did your wife make the soup?
Let's say no.
All right. So now, hopefully, Tom has written down his answer of how much money he would let this happen for.
Tom, are you imagining that the soup would be cool enough to leave no permanent damage upon your skin?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fair to say. It might be embarrassing, but not dangerous for any.
And
yeah.
it might make a bit of a mess. You'd need to work out where to
Of
do
course,
it.
yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want to do it in the middle of the living room because then you'd get soup all over the carpets, and then you'd have to.
Are you presuming that you're not paying for the cleaning bill?
Well, you might actually.
No.
So we have an
No,
answer from
I'm on
Michelle at 645.
Oh, we have to
I'm
find
on
out
to
an
are you a
answer.
germaphobe?
Okay.
And the answer's no.
Oh, Namron asks, are you a germaphobe?
No.
All right.
I would assume
Go
that
ahead,
hot
just
So
go
soup
ahead.
now
would
Chicken
be
every
pretty
day.
clean,
our
to be
answers.
honest.
There are things.
My answer is 75.
Okay.
My answer is 355.
Okay, I'm going with
I've
5.
lowballed it and gone with 45.
Oh, all right.
To 645. So there's quite a
nice
big
range
spread.
here. All
And
right.
That's the spread to go on the butter for the to do on the bread for the soup.
Oh no, if he has to have croutons on it as well, then that's a whole
Oh,
other ballpark.
yeah, we never
I mean,
asked. Has he got croutons? Well, you don't know.
so
Okay,
are
write
still
down who your
potentially
guess
wait.
is.
So we've got
Yeah. we go.
Amron's coming with 95.
All right, very good.
So we'll give James
So,
another couple
feel
of
free-
seconds, but we've got me on 75, Jason going from smallest to highest. Andrew, what was yours?
45.
So
Oh.
it's 5 for Chris, 45 for Andrew, 75 for me, 95 for Namron, and 355 for Jason, and 645 for Michelle.
Oh, 200 for James.
All right.
And 200 for James.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
That's a nice range.
All right, so write down your vote.
I've got an answer.
I mean, I want to vote for that person, but that person has also disappeared from my pile.
Your system's breaking down, Jason.
I was all prepared. Good thing that person has a spare one because I accidentally wrote them twice. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Okay.
Okay, so
we all ready? Hold off.
everyone say who you're voting for. I'm voting
Okay.
for Namron. I think it's about 100 now.
Okay.
More than
Got one for Andrew. I voted for myself. Andrew, who did you vote for?
Bez.
Looks like Bez. All right,
I
very
think her
good.
guess is probably closer. Like
All
I feel
right.
mine's a bit low now.
We've got Michelle voting for Jason,
Oh,
and yeah, just because of the lag, we can be a little
course,
bit
yeah.
Flexible with people in the comments.
when you're
Of
trusting me, Michelle, I don't know whether you're brave or
Oh,
brave.
Namron's voting for me! Yay! Someone likes my votes.
Shall I review?
Yes, yeah.
And-
Tom, go ahead.
It's like you don't know me at all.
Can't read the 700
quid.
pounds.
Ironically, the guess I had earlier for French accent.
pounds.
So
All right.
Michelle was the
So
closest.
Michelle gets it. So Michelle scored 2 points with her closest guess of 645. Did anyone vote for Michelle?
No.
No.
I generally
Okay,
thought that
so
was far
Michelle's
too high.
Oh,
Chicken
you know,
noodle
okay.
soup order on me.
I said 5 because I thought this is the sort of thing you might do for a pint, have a laugh maybe, and just
Well, my thinking
Okay.
was the soup, as having experienced how clumsy I am with hot food being thrown on me by myself, that hot food tends to cool off very quickly when it's thrown off a wide area because of, physics, heat dispersion. And
Technically cool.
For
as
you,
it's flying
Tom,
through the
you are
air.
just kind of like, this is just. I mean, surely, if you've got a bit of money, worst case scenario, you're just going into the shower, get the soup thrown on you while you're outside or in the garden, then go to the shower. It's basically getting some money for an hour's work, where you're
Exactly.
basically.
I think you might
mean,
be paid for it.
exactly.
I mean, if you had kids, I would have
Strictly
guessed
speaking,
free.
or that argument could be made for almost any of these. If you're not
No.
unwilling to do something, then your hourly rate applies.
Okay, guys, this is
I
the
don't
sort of
tend to
game
go
you can
by
play
hourly
all
rates.
night
by
long.
Because, I mean, some of them you had to do for a week or do. Yeah, like my one was
again,
pretty
my-
low. Because if
what-
I'm being
my hourly
honest,
rate
the reason
applies.
why I said speaking in a French accent, I'd be like, you know what? Especially if someone was there critiquing my French accents and saying, "Oh, your French accent," I could imagine that being a lot of fun. I would enjoy doing that for a week. I enjoy doing different things.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
by the end of it, your French accent would be even better.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Yeah.
As I was saying in French,
It
I
would
don't think
evolve.
it's particularly good. I would like to make it possible. And that's actually something that I would like to work towards.
There you go. So now we've all learned something about each other, isn't it great? So
Yeah.
this is the sort of game we could play all night, but I'll wrap it up here after a round. On 5 points with Jason. Jason is our winner.
Chris,
Chris has 2 points,
I'm not
and
doing
Michelle has
bad.
2 points. So congratulations, Jason.
I'm not doing bad
Thank
at these
you
games.
so much for playing. Yeah, you did good.
I've
And
won a couple already.
James, that's a great question. As of right now, this game is unpublished. If you go to the website, you can actually download the print and play version. And that version, that print and play file has the mild cards and the wild cards if you feel like playing the NSFW version. The mild version, as you've seen, is appropriate for teenagers. It is dirty, dangerous, a little embarrassing, but nothing adult. The wild deck is NSFW for adults only. Do not play that with kids, please, and will not
Just
take
to
any
get an
liability.
idea, I mean, you don't need to read them all out necessarily, but do we have stuff that might be majorly triggering, like, you know, genocide or
no, nothing.
personal, aggressive, like
nothing
sexual violence?
Nothing quite so terrible as that. Mainly
I can't find the cards. I can find the rules, but I can't find the cards on the file.
Okay.
Namron
So
says
the-
that
There's a link.
you'll
that's
play.
there.
Are you isolated, Namron? I mean, I don't know where you're actually based, but awesome if you are playing games and staying safe. It's great that you managed to find something that you've enjoyed, and I'm sure that Chris would love to hear back how you've got along with it.
Absolutely would. And whenever you download one of the print and plays from the website, there's always a link near the top of the rules to the feedback page. So after you've played the game, I hope you've had fun with it. If you take 2 minutes of your time, go to that link on the rules and tell me how you got on. I'd love to hear from you.
So what's the
I still
website?
can't find the cards. I have the rules from the link, but I can't find the cards. I don't know if...
I'm
I
just
will,
going to
actually-
share the link again, which gives the page.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Okay,
I'm
great.
having a look at some of these games, and
I want to make sure... Okay, yeah, I've got the
these,
Google file.
these
and
look
not
quite
that one.
fun.
Awesome.
I'm quite excited to see what either crazy travel stories or the dodecathon or theon.
Yeah.
With,
Crazy Travel Stories would be another fun one to play at some time.
But
If you
before
like
we
stories
go,
in games,
let's come back to this in a minute, because I'm going to explain one last time, just for anyone who wants to enter the competition. And I know that James already has Innerbind Jr., but anyone else, Innerbind Jr. is the early version of Yogi, and this is, I think, the Thai version. That's the Korean version of Yogi I've got, because I've just got a box full of all the languages. Yeah, Yogi's in a lot of languages now. That's, I think, Hungarian? I'm not sure. And anyway, so this is back when it was a self-published little tuck box, and you can get that. You could also get on the cards, which to get either of them, what you have to do is you've got to go to my Kickstarter, which I launched very recently, earlier today, and you have to look and tell me how much would it cost to get stickers shipped to Sweden. So just write in the number. It's a number of Great British pounds, because that's how we work. How much would it cost to get stickers shipped to Sweden? Not the total price, just... And also let me know which of these two games you would prefer. So Innerbind Jr., it's got cards that say things like one finger touching nose, one finger touching ear, this card on top of head. Whenever you draw a card, bark like a dog. Whenever you draw a card, quack like a duck. Things like that.
And how long do they have to do this?
Until we finish talking. They've got to do it basically right now, because we're not playing another game after this. And that's... Okay, and on the cards is a trick-taking game. It's a really lovely one from Surprise Terror Games. If you enjoy trick-taking, it's a good one to go for. It's by designer Sebastian Bleasdale, who I think is known for On the Underground. That's the name of their game, right?
Did they do some of the key?
Yeah, they did.
key
They
things?
worked quite closely with Richard Rees on them. And
Yeah,
I'm friends
people.
with the Surprise Terror people, Alan Paul, Charlie Paul, Tony Boydell, and I've never met Tony's wife, Karen, but they are all kind of partners in this company, Surprise Terror Games. They make games that are a little bit different. They've, I think, published stuff by about 4 different people, and it's a whole bunch of cards where you mix them together to make a unique trick-taking game. It's actually really nice. But I big it up, but also this is something that's handmade and I'm still very proud of it. So someone else can big it up.
Like I said, if you've got a copy of In a Bind, you should mix it, and it's even more fun. I just want to show you, that is a egg. This one is the egg I just got from my pack.
Oh wow!
Teeny,
oh my
tiny.
goodness, that's a crazy shape. So this is a mini egg.
This is a mini egg, yeah. So that's how it's supposed to look. That's the size together.
Man, I like deformed eggs. It's quite fun to see that.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for playing.
So Chris, you were talking about your game and what's your what are your plans with it? It's one of those games you've not managed to find a publisher. It's
not yet. So How Much Money was actually one of my first party games that I made. It's about 2 years old right now, and it's been play tested now in about 10 countries. As some of you might know, I'm a digital nomad, so my wife and I, we work, we travel, we play. Actually talking to you from Poland right now. And so this is one of those games that I've had a blast playing. It's one of the few games where I've actually had people that work at the game store that are like, hey, can you guys quiet down a little bit? You're just being a little bit too loud, for the more serious strategic gamers. And so this is In Search of a Publisher. And I am happy to share the print and play on the website. And again, I'm open to feedback. If you have a good stunt that comes to mind, I'd love to hear from it in the feedback as well.
I mean, have you thought about doing a wild-only version and send it to like the Cards Against Humanity's company? Because that seems like something they would do.
No, they only do Cards Against Humanity and
I'm sure there's
they are basically, which is quite strange for such a big company.
To be fair, that's a big load of cards.
Call vanity publishers, where you only publish stuff that you made yourself.
Right, I'm sure there's a company
but I think
like
Big Potato might be up for it. So I don't know if you've approached them.
I don't think I have, actually. I have talked to them before.
What you would need to do is make a video of the game being played, and then that's how they like to have their pitches sent. Don't know if you've got one already.
I have an older one. I might have to update it a little bit, but even the old video should be pretty good at showing off what's happening. I'll have to reach out to them.
Right now, let's start winding down. So it's been really nice having you all. Thank you, Michelle, for that's really lovely to read. And yeah, it's been really nice having you all in the comments along with Namron. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this person, are you real? Are you just a bot? Because you're never 100% sure when someone says, oh, it's a nice feed. And then it's like, actually, really nice to have you all with us. And if you're seeing this, we're just about to finish, you'll probably go back. And at this point, I think that both games went well, Giftable, and your game was really nice, Chris. I've got to be honest, before we played, I was worried that it would be too much like Wits and Wagers, but it is so different, when you're actually playing it, even though mechanically there is a lot of crossover. It's such a different vibe, and the stunts that you've got are so much fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Going around from everyone, let's talk about something you're looking forward to in the next few days. Jason?
I thought let's start with Chris and
Chris.
Andrew.
Sure. So I am looking forward to playtesting hopefully a couple of different games tomorrow at a playtesting conference. I am looking forward to some of the nicer weather that we've been promised here in Warsaw.
And just to give a quick shout out, the playtesting thing tomorrow, that's a video chat thing, and there's not any limit. So unlike this, which is a stream, it's limited to 6 people. normally it's kind of people that I somewhat know, and people are able to join in the comments. But if you want to actually play via video conferencing, Chris makes some great games that work well with that. I'm making some word games, and Elidix normally comes along with some roll and write style things, which you might have to print something for. But I think for Chris's and mine, you don't have to print anything for. Is that correct, Chris?
That's correct. You can, yeah, that's correct. You can print a couple of pages off if you want, or you can choose to follow along on the screen and then just write some notes down as we play.
So if you are interested in playing more games by Chris or myself, then join us tomorrow afternoon from 12:30 UK time. But yeah, sorry, just because you mentioned it, and I thought I should chip in there to mention it's open invite.
I would be there, except I've got to work tomorrow, unfortunately.
That's that. Yeah, that thing.
Excuses. All right, I guess I'll let the hook this time.
So what you were saying about the lovely weather, and I think I shut you off before you were about to say something else.
Yeah, no, the weather is finally getting nice here. The weather tomorrow is supposed to be 21 degrees. I might not be able to go out, but I can always crack the window and let some of the outer air come on in.
So, Tom,
I'm looking forward to a nice paella tomorrow. Paella.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's been Tom's birthday recently. Did you have a happy belated birthday? Did you have a good one?
I did. I had all my friends round, and we went out and had a big party. It was great.
I hope not.
Seriously,
I'll do it afterwards, I think. But yeah, it was nice.
Did you do anything special for your birthday?
Paula made a cake.
Hey,
which is nice.
Cake is good, and you didn't have to share it either.
Yeah.
Or have it thrown at you.
Jason, what are you looking forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to the barbecue on Saturday with all the s'mores and the.
Ooh.
And I'm going to try and convince my my step grandmother to make. She does this amazing barbecue sauce that you can put on like the chicken or the ribs or something, and it's just so nice. But it's unlikely because she does have a lot of work. But I'm going to try and convince her because
So just so people are aware, we are isolating, but Jason is in a household of 4 people.
Or 4 other people. So I've got myself, my husband. We live in a place that's slightly separate, but we have like a conservatory in between that's like almost no man's land. So I'm currently sitting in that. That's my office. Then we have my brother who actually sleeps next door through this wall.
Sorry, I forgot about them.
It's all right. You hardly see them. He's I say he's autistic, but he's not a bad thing because most of us are autistic in this house, except for one. Then I've got my grandmother by blood. Yeah, I know, right? The little pet neurotypical. You got my grandmother biologically, and then her wife. So it's a big household.
So enough people to have a nice barbecue and enjoy some s'mores. And if you're into comments and you want to share anything you're looking forward to over the next couple of days, please do so. And Andrew Dennison.
Just the weekend, actually. I know it sounds.
There's a concept of weekend still.
But unfortunately, there is for me. I'm very lucky in that I run my own business, and although our trade has dropped very significantly, the reality is that the only people I'm now dealing with all have urgent problems, and I'm just finding the weekdays sort of a taxing process of being you kind of on call. You can't relax, you can't put down because the phone's going to go, the email's going to go, and then people expect it done because they know that we're sort of slack. So people haven't. Whereas we used to be able to schedule work, now it just seems that a lot of people think you're just going to do it. And in some cases, people have mismanaged their own time, or just been unaware of things, been unable to get hold of people, and stuff that should have been done a month ago when we started isolating hasn't been done, and now it needs to be done.
Well, I don't really have a concept of weekend, except for maybe when I started working at schools. But generally speaking, I don't have, being a musician and a student, there's no such thing really.
No, I vaguely recall. I vaguely recall,
Yeah.
and I do sometimes work at weekends, but just particularly at the moment, it really is just the weekend is the 2 days where I can just relax completely and do what we're
There you
currently
go.
doing, because I know that
I get
people
you.
can't intercede. It's
I mean,
going to be nice just to...
I mean, I have D&D on a Sunday before the isolation happened, and I went, that's it. Sunday, I'm not doing anything work related at all. No music, no practicing, no emails, nothing. And it just happens to be a Sunday, which is supposed to be it's particularly a religious day of rest for the Christian community, and UK is considered a Christian country and all that stuff, even though I'm completely atheist. But it just happens to fall on the Sunday. That's it. Nothing.
Sunday, yeah. No, ironically, I actually value the weekend more now than I used to in some ways. 'Cause I used to like. I'd be busy during the week, but again, I could schedule things and I could be structured. And sometimes if I was a bit behind or something, I'd be like, oh, I'll sit down on the weekend and do a bit of work willingly. But just for whatever odd reason, it is quite taxing during the week at the moment, just not quite knowing what you're up to. And it's nice to have those 2 days where you can go, right, I can actually structuredly use this time for rest or recreation or whatever I choose, and nobody's going to interrupt it.
Time with the
I think it
chinchillas.
just ties into how everyone has such different schedules, and whether it's normal life, by normal I mean pre-isolation times, or whether it's right now. Some people are actually key workers getting out, working as normal, and I'm so happy that the postal service is still working. I have a weekly, I try to go there once a week. Normally it's his part of my business. Normally I'd go there maybe twice a week, because I don't go there every day. I maybe go there 2 or 3 times a week. It depends how busy I am, how many orders I get. But yeah, right now it's like once a week I do it. And that's something I'm really happy with. But then there's other people like myself. I work from home normally most of the time anyway. And then Andrew's actually doing a lot of work that involves other people. And some people are basically off work. And
I'm ludicrously grateful that there is still work to do. It's just I'm just finding the structure of it is very hard to manage at the moment, and I find that mentally taxing.
People don't have much. I've noticed that a lot more that people don't have time management skills. I knew I had very poor time management skills for myself, and I had to train them into myself for my studies. But people who are used to like a 9 to 5 or whatever time job, don't have. They're used to that structure being imposed upon them, and now that's not, and they get to work from home almost any time of the day. They don't know what to do, and they maybe get distracted too much and have to cram it in for an hour, or they suddenly send that email going, but it's got to be done now. It's weird.
And
in a way,
Michelle, I don't know if we mentioned
more
more s'mores.
I don't think it's too many. Try it with ginger biscuits. It's really nice.
And I think now we've got 2 people who are in the competition. I'm shuffling these cards. We've got an N and an M. M for Michelle, N for Namron.
Such a control.
This is... You got to... You've got to tell me when to stop. Or how about...
No, I mean, we were enjoying this. I mean, we could go 8 hours.
Okay, so who's going to...
I've seen it 8 hours.
I tell you what, Andrew Dennison can say when to stop.
I just said 8 hours, didn't
I? Oh, there, now. So it's this one. Did you say to stop? Okay.
I did.
And it's Namron.
All right.
So... Congratulations, Namron. So what I need you to do is to just message me or my page, Stuff by Bez, either one of them. Say which one you would prefer. The choices are In a Bind Junior and On the Cards. And if you're not sure, I would recommend In a Bind Junior, because it's honestly on the cards. It's I would say it's a bit more friendly. It's a bit easier to get into In a Bind Junior, and it doesn't have to be just for younger people. On the Cards is one that can be a little bit tricky. If you really like trick-taking games, that's good for you. otherwise go with that.
Innerbind Junior has to be an increasingly rare edition, does it not? Like, it was a relatively small run in the first place, and these are the original Bez versions, aren't they? So.
And thank you for being so supportive, Michelle. It was lovely to have you with us. And
I love your avatar.
yeah, it is really cool.
What is the avatar?
The ostrich with a kind of googly eyes.
And rainbow afro.
And Namron, I'm glad to hear that you're excited, because that's the worst thing if someone wins and they're like, meh.
I'm not sure how long ago it was, but also congratulations.
So,
winning?
Apparently Michelle looks just like their avatar. Apparently they are literally a bird with a rainbow wig.
Well, the song goes, "I'm like a bird, I'll always fly away."
I didn't mention anything that I'm personally looking forward to. Over the next few days, if I'm looking forward to the playtest, it's going to be nice to see Chris and Ellie. It is nice seeing Ellie there, and if anyone else wants to come along, then great. If not, we'll have a good time. And I'm looking forward to joining in Heather's thing, which I do have to sign up for tonight. And it's going to be a playtest protospiel, which is based in Denver in USA. Colorado, is that where Denver is? Colorado?
Colorado, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Denver, Colorado. And basically, because of this whole thing, it basically means that we can playtest with people from New York or people from Denver or whatever, because there are a lot of online things, which is the silver lining of this world right now that we live in, that we can interact with people from across the globe and in a live medium, because there's more stuff like this. And honestly, after this lockdown finishes, I was talking to Jason. I mean, we'll have a decision, but I might keep it up like once a week or something.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I mean, Gil Hova's been talking about like after lockdown, they're going to go straight back to in real life play testing because they don't like it. But I am looking forward to doing that over the weekend. That's going to be good times. The only downside is it's to a US schedule. So I will be trying to get up as late as possible and stay up as late as possible.
I'm familiar with this. Yes, I have done gaming sessions with US. And yeah.
Personal thing. I am having a live stream with someone on Saturday where I'm going to be talking about games. That's by Cara the Unicorn. So that's going to be fun. I'll pop a link to that on the Stuff by Bez page. And what else? I'm looking forward to... Those are things, even though they're in front of my computer, I'm also looking forward to spending a tiny bit of time outside. I'm going to cycle to the market to buy some fruit because we've not got any fruit. So I'm going to be doing the shopping for the house, going and getting some fruit and veg.
Fruit and veg is great.
And
cycle.
Again...
Your road is literally one hop from a load of shops.
Me?
Yeah, you walk through the bus stop and you're there.
Yeah, but I mean, Sainsbury's, I tend to not...
the exercise trip with the market.
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
Yeah, I go to the market. It's like
the market. Yeah, fair enough.
15-minute cycle away, and it's a lot cheaper than Sainsbury's and Tesco. I don't have the money for that, Jason. I mean, maybe I do, but I would choose to reduce the money so I stand a chance of being able to actually travel and spend money on other things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet you would have only accepted, what was it, 25 quid speaking a French accent for a week?
I would totally do that.
I'm just saying,
I mean, but no one's going to be here to say whether I'm doing it, so it wouldn't actually be quite that fun. But I probably wouldn't do it during a convention. But if
I'm just saying we can still get you 25 quid. That's at least 3 streams you've got to go through in a silly French accent. That seems worth the price of admission.
Sure, if you want to PayPal me that money, then you're very welcome to, and I will do it. Bear in mind that I am not doing a stream on Sunday. We are going to be back on Tuesday at about 8:10.
So what you're saying is Monday is the optimum time for us to get the whip together.
Or if you want to do streams, do it a week after because I'm missing 2 weekends. But I'll probably be doing the weekend after that. But for now, thank you so much. Good night, Michelle. Tuesday, Thursday, we're doing it again, 8:10, 10 minutes past 8. So it was lovely to see you. Even though, can you say you've seen someone? It's lovely to have you with us. And for now, I guess, does anyone else have anything quick to say? Well then,
Allow yourself.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.